What is going on, team? And welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to be learning and talking about the reclaimed order block. I've gotten a few Instagram DMs regarding the reclaimed order block, and it is a very valid topic, very good PD array that I feel like everybody should add to their trading arsenal. So let's talk about it, right? If we take a look at my screen as of this moment, we can see that right here we have a bearish order block. Now, why is this a reclaimed order block, right? Well, that is because this ideally should act as a bearish order block. So what price should do is this. It should come up, hit this order block, and then come down lower. What it did instead is it traded through it and then used it as support, right? So it should have used it as resistance, but it instead used it as support. You can look at it the same way you look at inversion fair value gap. Now, what is an inversion fair value gap? Well, quick explanation here. We have a bearish fair value gap here. We trade through it, and we use that fair value gap as support instead of resistance. The same thing with a reclaimed order block, at least in my opinion. Some people may view these different, but this is exactly how I view them. Now, I always draw my order blocks from the body. Okay, some people like to include the wick. That's personal preference, whatever you like. I personally find the body to be way more accurate than the wick, so that is where I draw them. But essentially all it is that it is an order block that gets traded through, and then we use it in this case as support instead of resistance. Now, if it was, in this case, we were using a bearish order block. If it was a bullish order block, we would be using that as resistance instead of support. We will, of course, go over a few examples, and I will show you exactly what this looks like. So right here, we have a nice example of a bearish order block. As you can see, we're holding it very well. This right here would be a bearish order block, and we retested it twice. Now, for this to become a reclaimed order block, I would need a closure above the body here, but preferably a closure above the wick. So let's see what happens. We do indeed get a closure above it, and then we can re-enter up the body right there. So our entry would look like this. Our stop could go at this volume imbalance here, and we could target a 1 to 2. As you can see, this was very beautiful, and it is an easy way to catch a move that you originally missed, right? This would be hard to get an entry off of normally, right? No retracement into a fair value gap, no nothing. But had you traded this reclaimed order block, you would have gotten a perfect entry. So this was just one example of how we use this. Of course, you want the higher time frame perspective or context to align, right? You can't just be trading any reclaimed order block that you see. You of course want it to align with your drawn liquidity, etc., right? This right here would be a perfect example of a bullish order block. Right? We have this down close candle here that if the order flow is bullish, this order block should send us higher, right? But if it is bearish and we trade through it, right, this is now a reclaimed order block, and we can now expect this to act as resistance instead of support. So let's see if we can close below it. There we go. Now see, this is when it becomes real high probability. Okay, now we have a reclaimed order block here, right? This is a reclaimed order block that overlaps with a regular order block. Okay, this is extremely high probability, so let's place our entry off of that reclaimed order block, place our stop here, hoping that this is a breakaway gap, and then target the lows down here. Let's see what happens. We get filled on the very next candle, and then we rally straight towards the sell side liquidity. But as you can see in this example, we had a reclaimed order block that overlapped with a regular order block. That is extremely high probability. Now, this is just to show you, like, this happens a lot of times. This was the example that we used right before. This reclaimed order block that overlapped with the regular order block. Just a few minutes later, over here, right, if we pull out a premium discount tool of this range, we can see we came into discount. We swept sell side liquidity. Now we have a bearish order block here. And if this gets closed above, this now becomes reclaimed, and we could expect it to act as support instead of resistance. So let's see what happens. There we go. That would have been our entry right up here, and we would have gotten filled on the body of this candle here. We'll put our stop just below this bullish order block here, and then we'll target this high here for a 1 to 2.21 R. So let's play it out and see what happens. Firstly, we identify premium and discount of the range. We find a sell side sweep in discount. Then we find that order block that we want to see get reclaimed. Once that gets reclaimed, we enter on the body of that order block. You will see it happen a lot of times, okay? This right here, you should take a screenshot of this, because this right here is a trading model within itself. If you follow the rules that I just gave you, this has a very, very high win rate, right? What do? Higher time frame, we look for a higher time frame bias, right? Or higher time frame drawn liquidity. We go to the lower time frame, like the 3 minute in this case. Then we find a range within that lower time frame. Here we have a 3 minute range. We find or identify the premium of that range and the discount. And if our higher time frame drawn liquidity is higher, we want to see some sort of sell side liquidity get swept in discount, and then a reclaimed order block get used as support. Extremely high probability trading model, and as you can see, it just repeats day in and day out. So that was really it for this video. I have gotten DMs regarding the reclaimed order block, which I completely understand. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it, and I don't even know if this is how regular people interpret the reclaimed order block, but this is how I use it. And as you can see, it works more times than not, which is all you need. So if you follow the rules that I gave you in this video, this has a very, very high win rate, and this is exactly how I personally use reclaimed order blocks. I use them the exact same way I would use an inversion fair value gap. Bearish order block gets traded through. I can expect that to act as support instead of resistance. Bullish order block gets traded through. I can expect that to act as resistance instead of support. Now, if you combine that with the liquidity sweeps and the premium discount of the range, that has a very high win rate. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned a thing or two, and I will see you in my next video. Also, don't forget to go ahead and follow my Twitter. I post a lot of my executions on Twitter, and I believe you could learn a lot from just watching my tweets. That is only if you want to, of course. Just wanted to put it out there, but I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.